There were some great stories come out of that, and I always remember Frick, because we all used to try and tell a story or something. And Frick speaks reasonably pretty good English, but his native tongue is Afrikaans, and so a joke Frick wanted to tell is not funny in English. He said, I've got to tell him Afrikaans. We never knew what the bloody joke was. The whole crowd laughed like a bastard, and here's old Willie John, what's that prick say? So, but he was a good bloke, old Frick. We had some great times, and we used to boast about how we were, you know, 3 locks in the original World Hall of Fame, and all this sort of bullshit was going on. And it was good. One night I had far too much to drink, according to Willie John, and he said there was Willie John and Frick behind us, and he said, this is what they told me next day, we had some thoughts, we should do that bastard now, he's caused us a lot of grief in our time. So those were the sort of things that were happening. But rugby, how it's changed, how the game's changed. Here we are honouring 56 Waikato players and the 49ers. I won't mention your age, Bob. You know, Paul told us about, you know, line-outs. And Paul, we only used to have 1 referee. Now you've got 3 of the bastards. You know, the whole thing's changed. Line-outs now, you can drive a bus down between the 2 teams, or nowadays you were shoulder to shoulder, and it wasn't who jumped the highest who got the ball, it was who ended up with it, you know. And you'd go to jump and some bastard standing on your foot.
Colin Meads.
So you learned to deal with it pretty quick.
So you don't blaming anybody else, mate.
You were lucky I never played with you. You know, at the World Cup, now, they haven't got 25 now, I know the rugby union will come back, but at that last World Cup we had 25 of a staff with the team. Physiotherapists, psychoanalysts, there was 8 selectors, or 8 coaches, I'm sorry. 4 selectors, you know, Sir Brian Lahore was the 4th one, he was there. Then you have a scrum coach. Then you have a tackling coach. Then you have a kicking coach. I think if you get in the All Blacks and you can't kick, what do you want a bloody coach for? You don't pick the bastard if you can't kick. That was 3. Now the other one was a line-out, throwing the ball in the line-out. You know, those are some of the funniest things you could ever see. I went to a game, the All Blacks played Ireland about 4 years ago. I was over in Ireland. And I watched this is before the game. Out comes this fellow with a white bait net. One of the All Black cute on a white bait net. And he was holding it up and the fellow had to throw the ball into it. Shit, I'd sooner it be full of white bait than bloody you know, what a bloody show. You see, the throws weren't going right. He was throwing it in, but so he... It was a bloody hard job for him to catch the bloody... What a lot of bullshit. In our days, we used to have... We were never allowed to assemble until Thursday. For a test on Saturday, assemble Thursday. And then they changed the rules for us country boys. Waikato and King Country, we were allowed to go down Wednesday. So in case the fog was in Hamilton on Thursday morning, so we got there. But that was it. Now they assemble for weeks. This team's been together. And you know they've got 30 players there for this test. 8 of the poor bastards are in suits tomorrow. Ties, suits, dressed up to kill. And why can't they play for their province tonight? Isn't it bloody madness? Here's Canterbury, they're going crook. I was talking to Chris Wiley 2 days ago. You should have heard what he said about the fellow Henry. Because they've got shield gun. And they've got 3 buggers sitting up here in suits, he said. Some of our best players. What the bloody hell's going on? I think we want to get back. You're not allowed to have replacements unless you're injured. You know, this walking off, come here. You know, what happens tonight if, say, after half-time, Rodney Suiala will replace Reed? You know, that's pretty much the way it might go. And then one of the locks gets hurt. Now, think quick now, Graham. Who's going to lock it?
Colin Meads.
They have 2 masseurs. And masseurs, you know, they're so essential now. In my life, we never had those people, you know, but I went to, we were in Wales in 1963, and I had a bit of a sore back. And Tremaine and these other Ponzi fellas, he said, have a rub on you know, because they've got somebody in from Wales to give us a rub, night before the game. So I had a bit of a massage, didn't feel any better. And that day was the night before we played Newport and got beaten. The only time we got beaten in '63. I never had another bloody rub in my life. I was superstitious, that was the playing. And never let a massage fella touch you. Just, you know, if you had we used to just have a bit of hot capsun, make it hot. And you used to get one of your mates to rub it on your back, long as they let that capsun on get hot, it was bloody good. Now that, you know, but they have 2 of them, and a couple of physiotherapists because they're overworked.
How'd you get on when the capsule come on the front part of it?
Oh no, not that silly, Bob. Obviously, you know, you should tell us. You went to the toilet after the bloody put it on. Yeah. So, but then they have this other people. They have a psychoanalyst. Now, you know, rugby players, we're usually pretty clever. And you've had a shit of a game you played. You don't want some bastard coming and telling you played, you know. Then they have dietitians. And then there's a nutritionist. And I can never work out that. It has me buggered, and no one ever gives me the answer. What's the difference? Dietitian tells you what you can eat or can't eat, and the nutritionist tells you what you can. Well, what? You know, you can't win, can you? And all these people are running around, and you know, there's 30 odd when they go on tour. Right? They've got 30 here for this game, but when they're on tour, there's 36 fit, healthy, young, strapping men. You know, some of these physiotherapists and dietitians, and they're young ladies. And shit, they look neat. all black gear, they've got the slats, oh, bloody tidy. You know, you've got 30 odd young fit men, and oh, you've got to get a massage or God's sake. And they think about things to get your mind off the game. Get your mind off the game.
Go to number8.co.nz.